Hello, listeners. It's Noelle, the player of Vivian. Wow, I cannot believe everything that's going on in the show. Super exciting. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. You know the drill. Thank you to Midnight Syndicate. You can listen to their awesome music and get some of it to include into some of your own games at www.midnightsyndicate.com. And of course, thank you for ambient sound from Sword Coast Soundscapes. You can access his stuff at youtube.com/swordcoastsoundscapes. From myself and everyone at Die by the Sword podcast, thank you for continuing to listen. Bye. So, I'm getting back in the swing after a 2-week vacation, and I'm still not over it. Like, I want to be back in vacation mode, y'all.
Boy, ain't that the truth? I've always thought January was the longest month in the year.
No, February is the longest month.
I mean, technically it ties for a bunch of other months.
This is true.
It's so long between holidays. Once you're past New Year's, which I always thought was a sort of a PUD holiday anyway, unless you really got a lot of money. Can do something truly fun rather than just being with a lot of people who I don't want to be with anyway.
You mean the holidays?
Because you have things like Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day and all of that are on there, but they're not like you
don't
get time off from work.
Yeah.
But you're just saying January feels long?
Yes.
No, February feels the longest. I don't care that it's
the shortest month.
I don't care. It is the longest month of the year. It just drags on. On.
I think it's because we're in Texas and February is the coldest month.
Yeah, that's when all the ice storms
that's
hit.
true.
And I am so cold.
2 weeks of winter.
Yeah. January, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, winter. But it's like February, it's just like, I am so cold and I'm over it.
And then by the beginning of March, all the daffodils are blooming. So it's over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's quick, but it's cold.
Yeah.
I'm very cranky in February. Luckily, it's still January, but I'm also cranky because I'm not on vacation. And I mean, I went next level slug mode on this vacation. Like, I did nothing productive, and it was great.
I guess I'm in the minority in that I'm excited to go back to work. I don't like having long periods of nothing.
Oh, it was great.
There's never nothing.
It was great. I played
There's
a bunch.
just not working.
Noelle does really well in nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, is it really a vacation if you haven't gone days on end without bathing or brushing your teeth? I don't think so.
Learning more about Noelle than we need to.
I am disturbed by this.
Well, if it's good enough for Lady Gaga, it's good enough for us.
So in case y'all haven't picked up, I'm starting out January sick.
Yep. You're gross.
Yeah. It's really gross.
I was sick in December, so it's your turn, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of making its way around the table.
And no, it's not the same thing that I had. So
No, it's not.
I'm yet to be sick this year.
Better knock on some wood.
There's
64 more days, 65 more days, because it's leap year, right?
I don't know how many days it is. We're past January 1st, so.
Oh, so we
300 and something days.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to make it up.
300 something more days plus one, because it's a leap year.
Yeah.
Is it a leap year?
It is a leap year.
Leap year, Olympics, election, it all happens this year.
Yeah, y'all, it's not only a new year, it's a new decade.
New decade.
Oh.
Although there is some argument that the decade doesn't actually start until 2021.
It's kind of like the new century not starting until 2001. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so dumb.
Because there wasn't
Doesn't
a year,
matter.
wasn't exactly a year zero.
No, I don't buy that. We're in the 2020 zonies now.
Twin zonies.
Twin zonies.
I'm just happy to be in a year that matches my vision.
Mine has not been 2020 for a long time.
Yeah, that won't last, Noelle.
I know that, but I'm really happy to have 2020 vision in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It can all start going down after this, and I'll match the years.
Despite her issues with math, she really likes when numbers match that way.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we got.
Makes her happy.
Well, it's the same number. It's easier.
Yeah.
But really,
No, that's
That's
funny.
kind of what match means.
only imagine how many vision type jokes will happen this year. Like all
Probably-
of the advertisements of, look at these sales for 2020.
Oh.
See 2020 vision.
Yeah,
I hadn't
that's
even
good.
thought
See
of
it
that.
clearly,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
I already hate it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll be disappointed if they're.
I'm
if,
already done with
if
it.
they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait until it's February 2nd, 2022. That's all numbers, all twos.
22. 22.
Right. And
So if you got-
I think it's a Tuesday, so it's also Taco Tuesday.
Oh.
So if you got something important to do it that day.
Well, this is like Richard and I. We specifically got married on a palindrome of 7117.
That's how much I like playing with numbers.
Mhm.
Except when you're multiplying them.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed this. I'm bad at math in my head. I know math, and the reason I get it wrong in my head is because I'm doing the wrong math.
Well, I like playing with those the letter magnets, but I can't spell for crap.
Yeah.
Good point.
But since it really was vacation, we also haven't been recording for a couple weeks. So I'm excited to get back into this.
Yeah, recording. We'll get in the swing of recording, and then I'll go on vacation for 10 days.
And then someone else will get sick.
Then someone else will get sick.
So.
I mean, it's like life.
Yeah. Well, and this is great because we've just started recording and it's been all nice and quiet. And now Rolf has started to join the party again.
Yeah. Maybe I can get the magnifying glass back from him.
Maybe that's what he's trying to tell you.
Maybe Vivian's adopted him.
Maybe.
Oh, like that little poodle? Or that poodle, that little chihuahua?
She's keeping him in her purse.
That would be so funny. You need a pretty big bag.
Big purse for that.
Yeah.
Big purse.
Just like either that or the crooked kin are always within earshot no matter where we are.
I need a Mary Poppins purse.
One of those big carpet bags.
So you need a bag of holding?
Yeah, I need a bag of holding. Because then it won't matter.
Yes, because the purse will do its own support.
They have the rules spelled out of how long a creature can survive inside of a bag of holding.
Well, his head would be out. It's fine.
Fair enough.
But what would it be standing on? I imagine a bag of
Infinity.
holding is just like, it's just space.
He's fine. But yeah, I really am excited to get back into recording, getting back into Law and Order world.
Chung chung.
So shut up, Ralph. Where were we last time? Library. We made it to the library.
You had just gotten to the library after talking to the barrister, getting his story, and talking to the Beast of Lepstad, getting his story.
Horace.
And then you made your way. You went back, picked up the books that you needed to return to the library from the judge's house, went to the library, and as you got to the library, you saw that the door looked like it had been messed with and broken. It used to have this nice superior lock on it, now it's just like a deadbolt, basically.
You mean like a deadbolt?
Yeah.
And I want to pause before we head further into the library. There was a lot of information that was given last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So before we totally jump in here, can we kind of unpack some of that?
Yeah, go for it.
We're Horace's lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to Horace, nice guy. Roderick was a dick to him.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's all I remember.
Really unpack that information there.
Let's review the case.
Okay, yes. So then we talked to I remember now. Okay. We talked to the barrister. I don't remember his name. Georg?
Gustav Koppel.
Yeah, so close.
Who has a very difficult stammer.
Oh yeah, he's got a stutter.
He's a stutterer.
So this is crazy. This is so crazy. The scenario that we're set up. The trials the preliminary trials have already been taking place. The next 3 days. So we are on the 25th of Morast. Starting the next day, the 26th, they're going to start hearing actual cases the next 3 days over 3 of the biggest crimes that Horace is accused of. And basically, our challenge is we have to go find evidence for each of these cases and then go to court and deal with them. And it's really the timeline's going to work out. We got to go find evidence about a case, come back, do the trial, and then leave immediately and go find evidence about the next case, then go do the trial. It's like, I don't know when we're going to sleep. It's like we're actual lawyers.
Exactly. And more like paralegals.
Yes. So the first case that we're going to be dealing with tomorrow is for the city or town of Morast, where Horace is accused of murdering 10 citizens about a year ago. But and what we decided before going to investigate Morast and going over there, we are going to the library to return the books and investigate the scene there because that's where Horace was found.
Correct.
Right? So, did I get everything?
I believe so.
Maybe.
So, I think we can unpause now and
resume.
Yes.
Okay. So you've made it into the library. You've walked in and you saw Dr. Martin A. Crowell, who Roderick obviously knows because as soon as you walk in, Dr. Crowell says, "Ah, Roderick, I've been expecting you."
Dr. Akrall, it has been some time.
It has been. You look so grown up.
You look the same as when I left you.
Thank you. So,
Dr. Akral, I'd like you to meet my friends. This is Zenobia Serpentry, Vivian Heatherton, and Renly Shadle. And as I've already said, this is Dr. Akral. He's a friend of mine from when I studied here at the university. And I apologize, I seem to have breathed something in when we stepped into the library.
yes, you always said you were allergic to this library.
I don't know what I would do if I was allergic to books.
I take them to my study instead.
Yes, must be something in the walls. Who knows?
You know, it's too bad about the lock on the front door. We had a set of superior locks, but we gave them away.
Well, that would have been nice to have another set. Perhaps we can get those later. Welcome to the University of Lepidstadt. What brings you all here?
We are returning these books.
Ah, yes. I'm afraid the fine will be substantial.
No, the judge said she'd wipe it for us.
Yes, we have it on the authority of Judge Imbrith Theramid that we shall not be charged any late fees for returning these books. For we did not borrow them.
Uh-huh. Well, you okay.
So disappointed.
Simple donation for the library. It will help with our cleanup efforts.
Let us get paid first, and then we can talk.
Okay, fine. Yes, please do excuse the mess here in the library. It normally doesn't look like this.
I assumed not. I assumed this has something to do with Horace, the beast of Lepidstadt.
Ah, yes. He was captured here.
Is there anything you can tell us about what happened as he was being captured? Or before then?
Well, it seemed that he was in here looking for something, and he was searching around, and the guards spotted him, and they tried to stop him, which made him angry. He did not really hurt any of them, but he moved them out of his way. I'm not sure what happened at some point, because I was not here at the time, but it appears that something made him extra angry, and he just started smashing bookshelves and tables and all sorts of things, and then just sat on the ground, looking depressed.
I guess he didn't find it.
Well, there is one thing that is missing, so perhaps he did find that.
If he was arrested, then what happened to what he was holding? How do we know that he has what was missing?
We don't. We can only assume. But
So
you're correct. This item is missing. However, he did not have it on him.
Oh, he keisted it.
Yes, did he have it
You're
in
really
him?
obsessed with that joke.
Prison pockets?
Yes. What is missing?
The one thing that was missing was from our antiquities department in the back of the library. It was the sea sage effigy.
Sea sage effigy? Is that like seaweed?
Sure.
So, I mean, I've never heard of sea sage.
Can we do a roll knowledge on that?
So this would be a knowledge history.
Natural 1.
You've never heard of this thing.
I've got an 18, but I've only got knowledge local.
So you can't roll higher than a DC 10 if you don't have it any
22.
points in it.
22 on knowledge history. So you have heard of this thing. Nobody really knows what it does, but it is a green statuette that kind of resembles like an octopus type creature.
Oh, you know what? I do know what that is. It's like it's a green statue that resembles like an octopus.
What's it do?
Nobody really knows.
Yes, we don't know either. We just know it's very old and historic, so we kept it here.
Where was it found?
No, it's missing.
Where was it found originally?
No, that I'm not sure either. I'm sure it was some dig site somewhere, would be my guess.
Was this where Horace was found in the library?
Yes.
Was he found back in the
Was he found in the
area?
antiquities section?
No. He was found over here where you can see all the tables and...
Does it look like he had been over in that section?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Perhaps he was looking for it, but somebody else had already taken it.
Can you think of any reason someone would want to take this sea sage effigy?
No, because, like we said, we've researched this thing high and low, and we still have no idea what it does.
Well, somebody does.
Is it magical?
No.
Nobody's ever detected magical?
No.
I don't think that's what he said. Well, now he said no, but
I think they've cast detect magic on it and did not detect any magic
yes,
on it.
that's what I was trying to say.
Yes.
That was certainly the question I was asking.
So if you guys want, from here, you can kind of do your own investigation, because all you're getting from him is what he knows, and he wasn't here at the time.
Were there any other witnesses?
I mean, the guards that were here were the only ones.
So just the
that were there.
guards.
But the guards that were on duty that night are not currently working, because they're night shift guards.
Gotcha.
It's not the night.
They weren't put on paid administrative leave?
No.
Well, I definitely think we should investigate this area. Oh, and I've just remembered, I do want to check out some of the resources here, because I've just remembered that when we were looking into, when Horace was telling us about the Herstog story, I'd had a really boss knowledge religion roll, and I wanted to see if I could find something more about that. Like, I'd heard of a creature that fit the description of killing kids and having eyes and stuff like that. Bunch of eyes.
Yes, well, I could show you the section. They said that nothing else was missing, so it may be a mess, but everything should be there.
Yes, let's see if we can find something there. And this might be a baby split up. We're all in the library, but maybe I'll check out the crime scene while Vivian goes and tries to do some cross-referencing.
Okay.
And are there any other reports it's worth looking for, Gary? Like, do they keep newspapers where we could get reports on the other crimes?
Not really. There may be some like law books that have some old case files in it, kind of thing. But they don't have like the newspaper section or anything like that. They don't have the Lepidstadt Herald.
All right, so Roderick leads Vivian over to the section on religious books, and I'm sure she has to start picking them up off the floor.
Yeah.
And then Roderick is going to move over to, he's going to start in the history section and roll a perception check.
All right.
It's a 20 even.
20 even. And this is over with the antiquity section and all that, history and all that.
Yes, where that effigy was kept.
Okay. So with that, so looking around from there, you can kind of see from the area of the door that you came in, there are some remains of like some fine silver wire and a tiny bell attached to the door, which you would know because it's a spell that you like. It was an alarm spell, but it's already been triggered and has not been reset. You see some very large tracks on the floor that look like whatever boots were being worn had some sort of metal on them, because there's some scratches, like metal, like iron scratches underneath that.
Do they look like they match Horace's
Yes.
shoes?
You notice the smell of beeswax lingering in the air.
What could that possibly mean?
It's none of your beeswax.
Like candles?
You just notice the smell of beeswax. You also notice, looking up into like the upper section of this area that would look down into the auditorium area.
Like the second story, but in the same room?
Yeah, same room, but there's like
big library.
Stairs that go up.
Like a balcony?
Like a balcony where you can look over and
Gotcha.
watch the
Yeah.
Or mezzanine
the
sort of
lecture.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
that kind of
So
thing.
up there.
Up there you see some, looks like part of the railing is broken, and there's some scratches that match those same iron scratches on the floors, but on the railings up at the top.
Huh. Like it kicked it?
You're not sure if he kicked it or if like he fell backwards and his boots scraped
Huh.
off
Or
of
he
it.
climbed it?
Might have climbed.
Zenobi would like to roll a perception check looking for hidey holes, hidden doors, something not apparent to the eye. Trying to stretch her wings as she gets her new skills in trap finding and hidden thing finding.
Okay. And where exactly are you looking?
In the area where the artifact used to be.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some sort of stand or nook, or can you describe that? How do you see this? Was it freestanding on like a pillar? Or
It was on like a pedestal
base.
Yeah. So kind of like you'd see like in a museum where there's just this pedestal where this artifact would have been standing.
So I want to look around this whole area and just see what I can see. Are there other marks besides the footprints and the boot prints and things like that? And is there any way it could have been hidden in plain sight, sort of idea? So I'm just going to roll a perception check.
Go for that.
And that would be 8 plus 5, 13.
13.
I'm sorry, 8 plus 8, 16.
Okay, 16. So with that, you notice a couple of things about this area where the artifact was. Like, the rest of the library has all of this damage and all that stuff in here. This little, it's almost like a cubby area that's kind of got like these bay windows in here, and this little room where they had some artifacts in here. This room looks almost completely untouched. No damage, nothing like that in this area, no boot scuffs, anything like that. You notice that the pedestal that used to have the effigy on it, it's crowded with these little small fetishes on them. There's like some mother of pearl fish carvings that are undamaged. You also notice that these bay-like windows, each of them have this grime on the edge of the windows, except one. The center window is shut, but there's no grime on it.
Dang, good job, Zenobia.
So I'm going to go over to this place where there's no grime and again have a look. Can I open this window?
You can. You easily are able to open this window. It makes no sound whatsoever. It just swings open. Whereas you look at the other windows, which they're openable, but it takes some effort. You have to clear the grime away. Things like that.
So can I look out? What do I see when I look out that window and look down?
You look down and you see just the grounds of toward the back area of the university.
Okay, and I want to look at the wall underneath that sill. Is there a gutter nearby, or a trellis, or?
It's not really a trellis. It's elevated from the first floor, but it's not like a full second story up. It's about halfway up.
So you could easily get up.
You could easily get up and over. Or a large creature could easily reach outside, kind of thing.
So do I see anything on the ground? Do I see any footprints, marks, scuffs, holes from a ladder?
You don't really notice anything like that with only the 16. You don't really see anything more.
But I'm curious. I'm going to hang around again, wait for my turn, and roll again.
Okay.
Or we can go outside and roll out there.
I can call people over, and everybody can start rolling.
So real quick, the grime on the windows is just generic nondescript grime.
But it's clean it's clean in one place. So
yeah, so it's the not being grimy is the suspicious part.
Exactly. Yes. And that it's quiet, because I'm assuming, Gary, that I test the other, because you said they could be open, but they creak and they're kind of gritty.
They all make noise.
But this one is like it's been oiled.
Yeah.
Like it's been prepared.
So, Roderick, is there a knowledge Roderick can roll on the beeswax? Can you roll spellcraft to see if that's a spell component for a specific spell?
And do I smell beeswax on these hinges?
You can roll the spellcraft.
Okay, rolling spellcraft. Natural 1.
So you don't really notice anything, but Zenobia, you do notice right there by the window that you smell the beeswax right on like the hinges of the window.
Clever mom. Dang, Zenobia. She's all up on this.
You know, I used to love to hear those stories of Law and Order. Around the fireplace.
So, while that's happening, Vivian's sitting on the floor with a bunch of books open around her, and she's just muttering to herself. She's like, I know I've heard of this. I know I've seen this somewhere in my studies, or I've heard of something causing this type of situation. What was it? What was it? She's just flipping through the books. So, is she having any success as she's looking through these books, Gary?
You're finding some things that hint to what this creature could be. You have a really good idea of what it is, but you're not finding the actual name of it anywhere. It's like people have told stories about this creature, but they haven't really written much down about it.
Okay. Can I do like a wisdom check of where I should be looking next for information?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that.
Okay.
She's very distracted right now. So, Vivian, thinking that she's learned all she can about the from the books, from this, she's like, oh, I know this exists. I know this. She's just basically going to take it at that. She's confident that that Horace did not cause this, that something else did. She's very worried about it, but can't be. There's more immediate pressing things happening right now. So everyone else, both Vivian, Roderick and Zenobia, you guys are over in the antiquities.
Yes.
Vivian wants to go over to where the bigger part of the mess is.
Yeah, that's where Renly is. Renly is going back over all the obvious.
Yes. So Renly, I'll let you take over, and then Vivian will walk up while you're doing your thing.
So he sees the boot marks.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they belong to Horus because he's the only one who wears that size.
He also, like, the boots that he wears have, like, these iron straps around them. So they would match that. They're that size, and they have those iron straps.
So they're big and have iron straps. That's the only thing linking him.
And the fact that he was...
And they found him
They
there.
found him.
Yeah.
And there's no other footprints around him?
No.
So
We didn't roll survival.
So this is, how far away is the this other section, right? Like where he was found. Horus wasn't found in antiquities, right? He
No,
was found in.
He was found, like, in the reference sections where all the books and stuff were.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a... It's
Not
a big...
huge.
It's a big library, because it's a university library, but it's not a massive area.
You could probably walk from one side to the other in less than a minute.
My
yeah.
question is, like, are these two sections next door to each other? Is it like an
Yeah.
L shape?
They're-
Like,
I know it doesn't help most of you, but I'm kind of imagining the library from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and...
It helps me.
Yeah. You've got, like, the front entryway where you can check in and all that stuff. They have tables down here for you to sit in, and then a few steps up,
okay.
they have the books and all that stuff.
The stacks.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then
stacks are back
behind
there.
that are the things. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I
So
gotcha.
is the antiquity straight through?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see that window? Like the bay? Are you looking into the bay from
Yeah.
the front door?
You can see all the way back there. It's not so big that you can't see it through there.
Okay.
All right, so Renly, do you want to roll some perceptions with me?
Absolutely. Let's perceive.
And Roderick's going to roll a survival to see if he can find any other tracks besides the obvious
And I'm going to do that also because of my...
natural 4. So that's a 5.
15? 16. 16 perception
12.
on the miss.
Switching die.
So really, with all of those rolls, you don't really find out anything more. The biggest thing that the two of you looking at this main area where the mess is that there's no, like, order. It's not like he was looking for something. It looks like he was just throwing a fit and breaking stuff. It's just completely disorganized and stuff is broken.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my next questions, so thank you.
So the guard said he was looking for something, but at this point he threw a fit.
because he didn't find it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make the leap that he didn't find this figurine, this effigy.
So I guess our next step is to look to head outside of the window and see what we can find on the outside of it.
And I've just rolled a 21 survival tracking. I don't know if I've done it correctly.
Okay.
You're tracking the horse's footprints or something else? Are you wanting to identify the footprints?
Looking for
So-
any kind of evidence.
So there's doing a survival check for looking for footprints, looking for things like that, or there's using your tracking ability, which is following a trail.
I don't think we're ready to follow it yet, so I'm looking for the tracks.
So your bonus is going to be different.
My bonus would be +7. 20. So it's a 13 plus 7.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah. No,
just
I
wanted to make
understand.
sure we were clear with our words.
Because the tracking also involves dividing it then. It's a...
yeah, it's a different bonus.
It's a different bonus,
It's a higher
yes.
bonus.
Yes.
So you're just looking around with specifically for
Which I didn't do the first time, yes.
Yes. Before you were just looking at what you saw, but now you're looking specifically for hints of people, not just the scenario as a whole.
All right. So sorry. What exactly are you looking for again? I was looking something up.
She's looking at
Anything in addition to what I've got that would...
any additional footprints or things like that.
Are you looking outside the window or in the room?
In the room. I'm still inside
Yeah,
the
we haven't
Still inside
area.
So you don't see anything additional. There's no big boot prints. There's no scrapes. There's nothing like that. It's very odd how clean this room is compared to the rest of the place.
Yeah, Zenobia, do you want to point that out to the rest of us?
Yes, and I just want to, whenever the right time is. Okay. Is now the right time to call you all over?
Yeah, because
All right.
we are finding nothing.
So, all right. Can we all get together and review what we've seen? There's something very strange going on over here where this effigy used to stand. I want you to look how the window's been lubricated and cleaned.
Yes, I was smelling beeswax.
Yes.
And it's the bees. It seems to have the beeswax aroma seems to be coming from here where the beeswax was used to make the window move silently.
So, are there any tracks outside?
I can't see anything from here, but what's very strange is there's no tracks inside.
No.
Every place else seems to be very disordered and disrupted, but
So if someone came in through the window, they definitely would have tracked in earth from outside.
perhaps.
And we can see Horace's footprints everywhere. This doesn't look like
Except
he did
here.
this. It doesn't
does
look like
not
he
look-
did this.
But could this be what made him so angry?
Or maybe maybe his action was a distraction from this.
That's where I was leaning with what I've seen, yes. And, with magic users, anything could be possible.
That's very true.
So the two possible theories are someone stole the thing Horace was looking for previously, or Horace was hired to make a distraction while someone was stealing something.
And take the blame.
Hired or controlled?
It very well could be the latter.
Yeah.
Did I say hired?
Yes.
I meant controlled.
Shall we go outside and see what we can see?
I think that yes.
Yes.
Need to, we've exhausted everything in the library.
Sorry, I didn't catch it. You said there was like a balcony or a trellis or something outside of the window?
Yeah, we're on the first floor, right?
You're on the first floor, and this
How high up
library, it's not a full story. I was kind of like
12 feet up, I would
12
say.
feet up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like
You could probably jump and get to the sill and boost
then-
yourself up.
Yeah, climb
Okay.
the rest of the way.
If you're tall like Roderick and I are, you could probably.
And you could survive jumping down as long as you rolled.
Right.
Well, I mean, you could survive. I mean, without broken limbs.
Yes.
Unless you were really clumsy and fell on your head, you were probably going to be okay.
Have you guys seen the Ted Bundy special or movie with Zac Efron?
Not yet. I still want to, but I haven't seen it.
There's a scene where he practices, Ted Bundy's practicing jumping so that he can escape through that courthouse window. And that's pretty oh, my ankles hurt the whole time. I'm just oh.
I have one question. Is there any more information on this effigy in the library that we could go look up? No. Okay,
No.
then I'm not going to waste time
Because
on that.
they have no idea.
Because that would be the one other thing I would be doing is to try and find some
Yeah.
history on this thing.
Yeah.
It's the Maltese Falcon.
It's definitely to them. It seems very otherworldly. They don't know what it does or where it come from or what it's supposed to represent.
All right. So we've got our two theories. Let's go outside and look at the grounds. Also,
Get a new perspective on the situation.
Vivian doesn't think this, but Noelle's now a little suspicious of the librarian. Just
Well, she didn't roll any sense motives.
yeah, because Vivian wouldn't. Vivian's trusting.
Okay. So you file out of the library and go around to the outside, finding where this bay window is. Give me a perception out here.
Nice, 23.
I have not rolled above a 10.
I tripped over my own feet.
With the 23, Roderick, you notice kind of leading up to this window, there are these tiny little footprints.
Tiny footprints.
Tiny
Like mice
footprints.
or people?
Like tiny footprints.
Yeah,
But human footprints? Animal footprints?
you're not sure. They give me
Well,
a survival for that.
Zenobia, look, I found some footprints.
Natural 20.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, look, I rolled a 10. So that's a 13 for me.
Nat 20 survival? 27.
27. So these are very tiny humanoid type footprints.
Ooh, like a gnome? Are gnomes tiny?
Gnomes are small.
So smaller than a no.
What did we just run into that was tiny? Didn't we run into some creature?
Not that I can think of.
No, I can't think of anything. It was the skulls.
That was it.
It was the little floating skulls.
Yeah.
They don't have feet.
That's all right. I was just trying to remember why I had some tiny in my memory banks.
So Zenobia and Renly, in your understanding of humanoid species, what could have humanoid footprints this small? It's smaller than a gnome or a halfling.
Pixies?
I'm asking you to roll knowledge local.
Roll what?
Knowledge local.
Rolled a 9.
I rolled an
4
8.
plus 5. Don't know.
Y'all definitely have never heard of anything like this, or can't think of anything like this.
Yeah, we asked the librarian.
Roger will roll Arcana on a lark just in case it's a magical creature of some
That's what I
kind.
was thinking.
Okay.
18.
18.
Switching my die again.
Back to the other one.
Different one. I've got 3 that I use for her.
Okay.
But that's a 15.
15.
So
With that, you know that, there's always the possibility that it could be some sort of construct.
what? Really? A tiny construct?
So it's possible that it's some other kind of construct besides what... Because Horus is a construct, but this is obviously a different one. If it is.
Can we see where did we see the footprints? Are they on the wall? Are they on the ledge? Are they on the floor?
They're on the
Or
ground. They're on the ground leading up toward that window.
Can we
Are they
follow,
like little monkeys?
Can we follow the trail back?
Exactly.
Where's the
Somebody
trail?
had tracking.
Yeah. You can track them.
All in good time, everybody. And not this time.
What'd you roll?
A 3.
So you can see that they go up to this window area, but you don't really see anywhere else where they go. Kind of, it just happened to walk in a spot that was soft at that moment.
Can I move out 10 feet and start looking for tracks leading away? Is there any obvious...
You've kind of lost the track of where they are. You don't really see anything obvious of where it might have gone.
This is still valuable. Some tiny creature, possibly construct, came and stole the item either before Horace came looking for it or as Horace was
yeah.
throwing a rampage.
We don't see any other footprints around.
And clearly planned this.
Yes, and Horace has no memory of the entire evening, so that makes it even stranger.
Those of you who have it, go ahead and give me another Knowledge Arcana.
Natural 1.
Natural 20.
Yay!
There you go.
16.
Do I need to tell you the whole total?
No,
The natural 20?
20 is good. After you mentioned that it might be some sort of construct, Renly remembers that a tiny construct could be a homunculus, which is something that alchemists use to do, as like a servitor for an alchemist.
So sometimes I get these words confused. Homunculus and golem. I always thought that...
Homunculus. Why didn't I think of that? Obviously.
And I for the longest time, I thought that our friend Horace was a homunculus. But no, that's not it. I believe that a homunculus was used here.
So what is a homunculus?
They're usually servants of an alchemist.
Would an alchemist be able to construct golems also?
Presumably.
So that's who's a... Is there like a registry of alchemists? Do they get licensed like pharmacists?
like we had to? Do they have to get permits?
Probably not if they're doing it illegally.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
So...
This is very valuable information.
It is indeed.
We still don't know why Horace was in there and has no memory of being there. But if we found the person who was controlling this homunculus, that might give us more clues.
Yes, but I do think we've spent as much time here as we dare to. We have to get to
Yes, we do.
Morast. We have to find evidence to help Horace for tomorrow's trial. How far away is Morast? Let's go. Vivian starts walking in a random direction.
I mean, you could probably always ask the librarian for a map.
Oh, that's a great idea. Vivian runs back in. Give me your maps! Doctor.
Dr. Cromwell.
Cromwell?
Who's Dr. Cromwell?
You just keep throwing names out.
Crowell. I can't read my own handwriting.
Doctor.
I'm sorry, I'm very sick.
Doctor, could you provide us with a map of the area? We're going to have to do some traveling for the next couple of days.
Oh, yes, of course. Where are you heading?
Morast?
Oh, Morast, yes.
Making fun of my pronunciation. I'm a foreigner.
I can obviously tell you're not from this region.
Get the maps for all the other places too, Viv.
Yes, I was going to. We need to go to Morast, Herstag, and...
Morast, Herstag.
There is no A. There is no A in Herstag. And then Carbile, where Carl is.
Carl.
Carbile, which I just imagine is made of bread.
It is an island made of bread.
And yes, there is an A in Herstag.
Oh, well, I spelled it wrong then.
It's Hergstag, Hergstag.
Did anyone else have it spelled that way?
I didn't.
I just want to be on record.
So he goes and finds all of these maps for you, hands them to you, and you see that here's the one for the village of Morast, which is Morast. And this one is for the community of Hergstag, Hergstag.
Yeah, I totally didn't spell that right.
And here's a map of Carb Isle, Karbisle.
I had that one spelled right. Whoever told us about Hergstog pronounced it wrong.
I had an O in my notes as well.
Doctor,
I said Hergstog.
are there any alchemists in town?
Oh, there are several.
Any
Tell me
evil
their
ones?
Anyone particularly evil?
None that I know of, but I mean, to each their own.
Any of them have homunculi familiars?
I'd hope not. Those things are nasty creatures.
Are you an alchemist?
No, I'm a librarian.
I mean, you could dabble in alchemy.
Yeah, those are not exclusive.
You have all these books.
Sense motive.
All of his class levels are in librarian.
Okay.
I know the Dewey Decimal System.
What about the
He has
library?
4 ranks in it.
Yes,
What about the Library of Congress?
I know that too.
All right. Well, we must dash. Roderick, how are we getting there? Where can we buy a horse?
Well, we have a cart that has been carrying our goods. If we unload all of our goods at the good judge's house, we could ride in the cart with my summoned horse, and it would take us about 3 hours to get there with the horse's normal traveling speed.
Well, as a scold, I can inspire all my allies. Do you think the horse likes me?
Yes, I think he's compelled to like and obey everyone in the party to which he summoned.
So, one level above walking for a horse, what is that?
It's a double move, so it basically doubles the movement speed. With the cart, it's slightly less than that. But
Well then,
So they'd be cantering.
so yes, I think I can use my Song of Marching to help us with time.
oh yes, I've heard of this vaguely. Yeah, I think that should help very much.
Oh, wonderful. All right, well, let's go unload this cart and get going.
Okay, before you go, Roderick, part of the reason I was expecting you, this was delivered here for you. And he hands you a note.
Oh, from one of my old classmates? Maybe they saw me in town.
I'm so popular.
Yes.
Okay, so he opens it up and unfolds it. My son, also, he starts reading it out loud, and then after he reads my son, he stops reading it out loud.
Oh.
And so he's reading silently, and his brow furrows in frustration. Yes, since you are all there, I suppose it would make sense to read it. My son, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I'm sorry you had to discover my secret this way. You were better off believing I was dead. I never meant you to find out. I should have stayed hidden in the shadows, but I had to know that you were okay after the passing of Professor Lorimer. I know how close you two were. The pack must have followed me, and as soon as I knew they were hunting you, I followed to make sure that you were safe. Luckily, the mongrels who followed you were omegas of the pack. I was bitten by an alpha, and so my status outranks them. Oh, so they have a hierarchy. Imagine that.
The wolves.
After I was bitten, I didn't know what to do. Your mother helped me to conceal my new identity. Please don't be upset. I wanted to tell you the truth, but I swore her to secrecy. I couldn't bear your disappointment in me becoming an unholy beast. I can understand if you never wish to speak to me again, or if you wish my death, I deserve it. But if you wish to speak to me, leave a note with Dr. Cromwell, and he will inform me. Be safe, my son. Your father.
Stay thirsty.
Does it say Cromwell?
Leave a note with Dr. Crowell, and he will inform me. I'm sick.
Oh my goodness, Roderick.
Wow.
Vivian puts a hand on your shoulder.
I've been through a lot of emotions in the past couple of months.
What? Past
No
couple of
doubt.
months, past couple of days.
My goodness, Roderick.
All right, well, let's ponder this on the road. Chop, chop.
Dr. Crowell, so you are aware of the goings-on here, I'm assuming.
Yes, he came to speak to me. I had believed he was dead. But I guess after seeing Professor Lorimer's death, he wanted to make sure that you were okay. And then he told me that you two had a run-in.
You could say that?
I told him that I would be your mediator until you are ready to see him face to face.
Well, that was very generous of you. I guess he must have really liked Roderick.
Who? Your dad?
Dr. Cromwell. No, Dr. Crowell.
Even though you never get my name right.
I do apologize. I don't know why that one name keeps tripping me up.
Dr. A. Crowell, Dr. Cromwell, Dr.
Crawley.
Crowley. So many names throughout the years.
I know, but it's a funny gag.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
Very well. Yes, I shall write a quick note and leave it with you. Thank you very much for your generosity in helping me mediate this situation.
Of course.
So I'm picturing like a Home Alone note. Keep your emotions, you filthy animal.
Back off.
But yeah, he just leaves a very basic, Father, I do want to meet.
When you're not hungry.
Not during a full moon, please, thanks.
I'll bring my silver. Okay, so you leave a note for him.
Yep.
He takes it. You make sure he lets you know that he will get it to your father, and you head off back to Judge Dermot's house, where you drop off all of your stuff.
We do inform her of what we're doing.
It's not just showing up and throwing things in her house.
Very teenage daughter, teenage son.
Yes, if we have to travel to investigate, and unfortunately, the places we need to investigate are inconveniently far away, so we need to get there more quickly.
If you want to do all our laundry, that's fine. No, just kidding. I have delegates.
I am not your mother.
I'm just imagining
And
like
none of you people have any servants.
I'm just imagining like teenagers coming home with their huge thing of laundry.
They only come home for laundry.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
laundry at
not
the dorms is
teenage.
expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I guess it's not teenagers. It's college students
Mm-hmm.
who could be in their teens, but
Possibly. All right. So you drop stuff off at Judge Dermot's house, and you start your trek toward Morast. It's about a 12-mile journey.
summon a horse.
So we summon the horse, and then Renly begins his song of marching, which, if my calculations are correct, it should get us there in shortly under 2 hours.
Okay.
So we're just in time for din-dins?
Exactly.
Well, I have an important question. What is Renly singing this entire time?
The most annoying road trip song in the world, 100 bottles of beer.
I was thinking Rawhide.
Oh,
Let him up, get him up, move him on. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'd like to retcon that to be Rawhide, please.
Well, we just had Christmas, so it can't be sleigh ride.
That's true.
I mean,
Giddy up, giddy up, giddy
Giddy
up.
up, let's go.
I will leave this room.
fine. Rawhide it is.
Yay, I win.
So Rawhide would make them want to go faster because they're excited. 99 bottles of beer on the wall would make them want to go faster. Get the song over.
Yes.
Yes, well, it's not over till you hit one, or you hit no bottles of beer.
Yeah.
So, like, in town, if you got there before the song ended, he'd still be singing it. And then all of you could still, haste to
Walk
try and get
faster.
away.
That's so funny.
Will you shut up?
Awesome. Well, that's great. That really helped a lot.
So can we buy, noise-canceling helmets?
Bose helmets.
Bose helmets?
Just
yeah.
cast silence around you.
Yeah.
Cast deafen.
Right. So you make it into Morast. What you notice is this very kind of dilapidated town. It's all of the houses are up on stilts because it's a very swampy area. Think of it as the backwoods of Louisiana, basically what this looks like.
Or the swamp levels in Starbound.
Yeah, that's it. But it's not the elegant versions of Louisiana at all. It's everything's up on stilts and it's
bayous.
It's the bayous, definitely.
Got the that little firefly from Princess and the Frog.
So what do we observe when we first make our way into town?
It's a relatively quiet town area. So you go in and there's a gentleman, an older looking gentleman with gray hair sitting on his front porch.
Playing a banjo.
Basically. And he sees you coming in. He's chewing on this very foul-smelling swamp weed.
Ugh.
And he spits a couple of times and he's like, "What are you folk doing here?"
Vivian steps forward with her most beautiful smile. She says, "Hello, good evening. My name is Vivian Heatherton, and we are here to investigate the murders that happened a year ago of 10 citizens. We're trying to find out more information about that."
I see.
And I wanted to roll a diplomacy as far as first impression. Oh, please, dice, don't fail me. So 8 plus 6 is 14. 14. diplomacy or 16 if he finds me attractive.
Okay. Well, we don't normally get any you city folk or you foreigners here in our parts.
Foreigners?
Foreigners. You heard me.
I did, but I didn't understand foreigners.
It's a foreigner.
Oh,
means we're
he's
not from
speaking
here.
wrong. Okay.
No, Renly.
What?
Renly, no, hush.
There's an O in there.
Pardon. He's new.
Mm-hmm. Why you coming in here bringing up all this business about dead people?
Well, partially because we don't really know what happened. All we know is that some people died. We're involved in the trial in Lepestad.
I mean, for the beast.
Yes. She doesn't want to reveal which side she's working on, just that she's involved in the trial.
Mm-hmm.
She's being coy.
I see. Well, I'm supposed to be in Lepestad tomorrow. I'm the one testifying.
Oh, you're a witness. What was your
Yes.
name? I'm sorry, I'm so rude. Introductions. I told you my name. What is your name?
My name is Lasney.
Please spell it, since I can't seem to spell anything right in this game.
Well, I don't know how to spell because I don't know how to write either. But from what I understand, people have told me that's an L, an A, a Z, an N, and an E.
I love that name.
I love names with Z's in them. I'm Zenobia. I live in a village, used to live in a village, very like this.
I used to live in a caravan down by the river.
Are you a motivational speaker?
I'm glad somebody got the joke in the room.
So, Lasney, can you share with us what you're going to... Can you give us a bit of a preview of what you're going to say tomorrow?
I suppose I could tell you something.
How about if we buy you dinner and you can tell us about what happened?
Well, I don't know what type of dinner you'd buy here. Everybody just makes everything themselves. We could go catch something in the swamp.
That would be a good idea.
Oh, she's taking the adding the twang approach.
Yes.
Maybe some frog
Call
legs.
me Hillary.
Jeez, Mom.
Frog legs, some gator tail.
Oh, it all sounds very unusual.
Is there some place where we can buy something to drink? If I can't buy you dinner, can I buy you something to drink?
We can go up to the tavern.
Let's do. Maybe we can make them cook something for us too. On me.
Alrighty then.
I can just imagine this guy, and it's just like, oh.
So I'm studying him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to run a diplomacy check too. So that's a 15 plus 5 plus 1, so 16. 21. 16, 21, yeah.
15 plus 5 plus
Yeah.
1, 16. No.
So it's 16 plus 5, so it's 21.
21. Okay. So, of everybody, he seems to talk more to you than he does to anybody else, which I'm sure it feels weird for Vivian to not be the one getting the attention.
Yeah, but she doesn't think that way. She's very much like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Yeah. Vivian's very aware she's a city girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to come off as rude in these other environments, but she's absolutely like, ew, swamp. Gross.
So, Lasney, how many different words for dirt do you have in your native language?
For dirt?
Yeah. We had 12.
That sounds about right. It's a word for dirt. It's a word for grime.
Mud.
Mud.
Silt,
other
soil,
words.
schmutz.
Yes.
They're so not interested in us interrupting. So
we categorize all the dirt as we pass it.
Mm-hmm.
as we make our way, so we make our way to the tavern, and then I think Vivian, seeing that Zenobia's got this in hand, she wants to, once they get to the tavern, she wants to help get the food and everything, and she's like, what can I order for you? What can I get you?
Gator tail.
Anything else? What do you want to drink?
I want some rum.
Excellent choice. So she's taking everyone's orders and getting that all handled while Zenobia can just focus on talking to him.
And I think Roderick wants to kind of prompt Vivian to where we can start just kind of casually asking other people.
Yeah, start gathering information, walking around the bar.
Asking the witness.
Spreading a little money around. Making sure everybody's...
So we'll let Zenobia talk to the witness, and while that's happening in the background, we're going to be gathering information.
Those of you that have knowledge local, go ahead and roll knowledge local for me.
18 plus... Got to get a new prescription here.
I have 20.
20
never mind.
Not natural
Knowledge
20.
local, mama.
Okay.
Yes. So, 23.
So you got a 20 and a 23?
Yes.
So with that, you've heard stories of this little small town of Morast and the fact that they're very unique people. The people of Morast hardly ever get sick. They live very long and healthy lives. And you've even heard stories of that, like, if somebody from Morast dies and their body gets, dug back up, there's no sign of decay.
Whoa.
They're like undead?
They're not undead. They're very much living.
Does the soil have gentle repose in it?
It must be something magical in their diet.
Yeah, they're just
It's gator tail.
different than most people.
Is there knowledge I can roll to perhaps suss out what that might be?
An arcana or
Or
something?
nature, even though I don't have that.
Not really.
Just sort of some background information
Yeah,
as
just
we
some
start
background
doing
on
diplomacy.
on them.
So is death unknown there, or is it just rare? Due to accident,
I mean,
or murder in the case that we were dealing with?
murder happens, or just death from old age.
So that must have been really shocking then when 10 people were murdered in this town. Because people don't die here a lot.
Yeah, people don't get sick and die.
Do they have a lot of
here and
kids?
then. There are a few. Population is normal for a town like this. It's not like overrun with kids or anything like that.
This is so much feeling like Fallout for some reason.
I'm just really, I'm just trying to imagine a swamp in Ustalov. I don't really know. Again, in my head, it's like Transylvania. Like, are there swamps in Transylvania?
Yeah, it's very wet. It rains all the time.
The moors.
But it's not, I just don't think of it as being warm, I guess is my...
Doesn't have to be warm to be a swamp.
Does it have to be wet?
Just wet.
Yeah.
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 There's swamps in northern Wisconsin. That's what all the
Right.
the bog lakes
Yeah. Okay.
turn into.
I'm
But
not a big...
you're right. It's different. It's not a tropical swamp.
Yeah.
It's not like
In my head-
mangrove or.
Yeah. In my head, I've got a tropical swamp in my head.
This is more peat moss and.
And here's the other thing. I have no interest in visiting any type of swamp in real life, so
They're pretty
that's where
horrible.
my ignorance comes from.
But I want to go to the Everglades.
You spent time in a swamp, right, Mom?
I did.
Like
Peat
doing research.
bogs.
Ugh.
Yes, they're scary. Guess what they're full of? Insects
I was going to say
Snakes.
Pete's.
and snakes.
The Adventure of Pete and Pete. Just a bunch of
Pete
those
and
guys.
Peat
Okay.
and repeat. So,
So, all right. So that's just some background information
Just
as
some
Roderick and I are.
Background on this. Interesting information.
Yeah,
about
that
these
is
people.
interesting. All right. So while Zenobia is talking to what's his name? Lasney. Roderick and Vivian are gonna start scoping the bars and talking to people and gathering information in the background. So, Zenobia, take it away.
So, Lasney, first of all, thanks for talking with me. It's been a long time since I've met just a normal human being. These people are driving me crazy.
I can understand that.
None of them understand village living. They're all from the city.
Most people, if they don't grow up in a village, then they just don't understand it.
They don't, do they? They just don't get the beauties of it.
They don't. It's a simple life, but it's a good life.
Tell me what happened a year ago. I'm working right now. This is my new job. I'm becoming an investigator. So I got to ask questions.
All right, then. Well, the main parts that I can tell you is we noticed that people would just start disappearing from these parts.
From their houses or from their work or?
They'd be going from work to home, or going from, hunting back home, or they go out to fetch their meal for the evening and just not return, that sort of thing. There was one of the first to go missing was a poacher, and she went out to go hunt, and her body was found later with its face missing.
Oh my. Just the face?
Just the face. The rest of her stayed intact, but the face was missing.
Oh my goodness.
And we didn't know.
That was the first?
That was the first. We didn't know exactly what would cause that, because most of the animals wouldn't leave the rest of a good body lying around. There'd be more of her missing.
Mm-hmm.
So, we didn't know what to think of it. And then more people would just start disappearing, and it was again the same thing, like just an arm would be missing, or just a finger, or something like that. They'd be dead, but just
pieces of them.
Just pieces of them would be missing. And it didn't seem to make any sense. So, we as a town got together, and we decided to set a trap.
How many people died before you set the trap?
About 10.
What sort of trap did you make?
Well, there's a group of us, and we were lying in wait for the beast, who normally would attack after nightfall. We were armed with torches, and once he showed up, this huge, probably 7-foot tall beast, this hulking stature, and it looked like it was made out of different body parts, like they didn't all go together. And we waited for it, and we attacked it with the torches that we had, and the pitchforks, and the bows and arrows that we had. And eventually we outnumbered it, and it took off into the swamp, heading toward our burying ground. And once we saw it taking flight, we chased it. We got into our boats and we followed it. And we continued to attack it until it fell. And it fell on the grounds of our burying ground. And we were going to go after it again, but a blood came up and bit it right in the shoulder.
That sounds horrible. It sounds is it as horrible as it sounds?
I mean, it's a big old gator. Basically, he came up, bit it in the shoulder, and this thing let out so many howls and so many words and curses that even the worst whores in Lepistad would have been ashamed of its language. And that creature drug this beast, took a huge chunk out of its shoulder, and then drug it underwater. And the blood just tainted that entire area. We knew it was dead. We went on about our business. The blood had tainted our burying ground, so we created a new one. Didn't want to continue using that one. We lived happily as much as we could, thinking that the beast was dead.
Did the killings stop?
The killings did stop. We didn't even know the beast had escaped until I was called in as a witness.
What did it look like? And I get as detailed a description I can have. Does it match our beast?
The only thing that really matches is the fact that it was about 7 feet tall. It was made from different body parts that all go together. Like, that they look like different pieces of different corpses thrown together. So that part matches. But you would also know that having met Horace, he doesn't have anything in his shoulder that would resemble this huge gator bite.
That's what I was wondering, if we've seen his shoulder yet. So Horace doesn't have a bit of his shoulder missing.
Right.
That's right, and I'm thinking that. It's like, we didn't see any mechanical damage. to him. Lasny, did you recognize in the beast any of the parts that had been missing from your citizens?
Well, it looked like all the parts of all the people that had already been dead. The face looked similar to the poacher that had been killed.
Ah.
I don't know that it was her. The rest of this creature looked like a man.
That's very gruesome and disturbing.
Indeed it was.
What do you mean that the burial grounds were polluted? Or that you had to move them because they were tainted?
Oh, we didn't move any of them. Those that had been buried there stayed there.
Got it.
But it just didn't sit right with us that such a holy place had been desecrated by some other creature's blood, this murderous creature. So we created a new burial ground. I don't know why he was going back to those burying grounds. It looked like he was going there for a purpose. I'm not sure why. None of us have gone over there to check.
Can you show me on this map where this place is? And would it disturb any of the other citizens in this village if we went and had a look?
I can show you. The only way to get there is by boat. I'd be willing to take you there myself, to show you. But only 2 of us can fit in a boat. We'd probably need to rent a couple others from the other people. They won't just give them for free.
No problem. We can take care of that.
Can you summon a seahorse?
I am not putting any limbs in this water. What's a blood caiman? You said it's a croc?
It's a
Or a gator? It's a caiman.
A caiman is
a crocodile.
Crocodile type creature.
They're not the biggest one.
They have longer noses.
Mm-hmm.
They're smaller than an
By the way,
alligator.
if I'm
still
getting if I'm going anywhere jungly, swampy, I'm putting on my armor.
No, we're wearing our armor as we travel.
Okay, good. So, because I'm not wearing my court clothes, in other words.
No. Remember, we got into town, and then we've done all this stuff.
Peace, I just want to make sure that we're specifically saying
Yes.
that I've got more than just my skin on.
Yes. Although it'll be great if you fall into the water with all that armor on.
Hey, I can swim. I remember how long you swam in that ooky water in the prison, so...
Swimming. Drowning.
Being held underwater.
Yeah, fine line.
Fine line, yes.
So while this conversation is going on, Roderick and Vivian are just kind of asking around. Roderick's just going to roll to aid her gathering information.
Pressure's on.
Have I wrung everything out that I can wring out of this, Gary?
Roderick aids, so you get a +2.
Fudge! Oh, I'm so mad. Okay. So
I ate as well.
So 17 diplomacy or 19 if they think I'm attractive.
To try to get more boats? Is that what you're trying to do, or what?
This was the gathering information portion of it.
Any other information?
It's basically them corroborating what Lasny has said. They set the trap. They chased him back to the burying grounds.
They never actually saw him dead. They saw him pulled under.
Pulled under, this huge chunk taken out of his shoulder and pulled underwater, and he never came back up above the water.
And this construct seemed to be made out of at least some of the parts of the murdered victims.
Correct.
Okay. Now I'll go around and start asking for boats. What is wrong with my dice? They are not happy about the new year. Do you guys aid again?
I don't know if I want to
do.
with that roll.
Yeah,
But
actually, I'm going to just roll separate with 15.
Yeah.
Okay. So 12 or 14 if they think I'm attractive.
So we need 3 boats, or we need a bigger boat to
What-
hold
what
the
are we
other
rolling?
3 people?
What are we
4
rolling?
people?
Diplomacy?
Diplomacy.
So you'd need 3 total boats. Well, you need 2 more, because Lasny will take 1 and 1 person with him. And he'll be the guide boat.
And that'll be me.
And the other 2 boats can follow.
So I rolled a 12 or a 14 if they think I'm attractive. This honestly makes sense because Vivian has no idea how to behave in this.
Okay, I rolled a natural 20 for diplomacy.
So Vivian goes up to a gentleman and starts talking, asking about a boat. He's like, sure, you can have a boat for like 15 gold pieces.
Okay.
And then Renly comes up, asks the same guy, sure, you can borrow it.
All right, well, she's not paying him then. Wait, so do we get 2 boats?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
both.
All right, so...
Do we need to take money off our list, or we just assume we have enough
it's me.
money?
I'm taking it off mine. And Vivian's absolutely like, oh, that seems perfectly reasonable. Thank you.
So we paid for one and got another?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's
So
funny.
it's buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free.
BOGO.
And do I owe any money to Lasny?
No. He's taking you out there as a favor.
Yeah.
He
But,
likes
And
you.
we bought dinner and drinks, and
and it is worth noting that all the townspeople are corroborating the same story and that there's not different. Like, that is important to know.
yes.
Sense motive. The whole town's lying. All right, so boat assignments. One of us is going to be on a boat by ourselves.
Roderick.
And I'm in a boat by myself. No, I'm in a boat with
With
Lasny.
Lasny.
All right, so Roderick, you want to be on a boat by yourself? Because Vivian really wanted to ride with you because she doesn't know what to do on a boat.
That's fine then.
So I put Renly by himself.
Oh, but then Vivian feels bad because she doesn't want Renly to feel left out. She wants him to feel part of the group. So Vivian's
Just pick a boat, people.
Vivian's straddling both boats. She's standing up like warrior woman pose.
Like Jean-Claude Van Damme on
Yeah.
those semis.
Exactly. That's exactly what she's doing.
I was thinking more like the lawyer in Jurassic Park on the little raft as he's being pulled across.
Oh, God, I can almost envision this scene, but it's been so long.
It's very awkward looking.
Yeah. No, she looks fabulous. She's just...
Always.
I'd imagine the water probably isn't super deep. It's probably like you just get a long stick and you push yourself across.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not super deep, but it's thick and
Yeah. You
gross.
still don't want to swim through
It's like in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, basically.
You know, and you're right. They're flat bottom boats. They're not. They don't draw a lot.
Yeah. So you get into the boats.
Renly, keep your feet out of the water. Jeez.
And then he starts, kicking.
Vivian pulls out a parasol.
Is it black? It's got to be black parasol.
I'm imagining the African Queen, that old movie. With,
Yeah.
What you're talking about. It's, again, my brain's just not turned on enough for these movie references.
It's Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
She sings da 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 da.
Okay.
She moves an organ up this. It's a horrible movie. Anyway, leeches.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great movie, but it's a nerve-wracking movie. Humphrey Bogart, you would like it.
So yes, Vivian's, I just imagine her leaning back with a parasol in this, like, horrible, gross environment.
Trying to find the beauty.
Yeah.
And there's like pterodactyls and stuff.
There could be.
Toads.
Swamp drakes. Flavor drakes. But anyway, you make your way into the boats. You start making your way across. And you get to the area where the burying grounds are. It's looks like this little island that kind of sticks up out of the swamp here. And the sun has started to set because it's starting to get into the evening, and the temperature is changing where the water is warmer than the air outside. So you have this nice fog starting to billow up, and it looks very ominous and creepy.
Mosquitoes start to come in.
The mosquitoes start to come in.
Zenobia doesn't like mosquitoes.
And you start approaching this burial ground. And you get this ominous feeling because you've dealt with so many undead things already. And we'll see you next week.
What? I always just wanted to have a nice day on the river.
I just wanted to fight a monster. Not injustice, though.